Howdy folks, Kerbo here. Today I wanted to show you a quick look at SnowRunner. SnowRunner is a successor to Spin Tires and Mudrunner off-road trucking games. And this one is pretty spectacular. It's got a lot more to do than the others. The others were more about moving logs from point A to point B. This has a whole big game around it. That was the wrong button. So let's give a quick overview here. There's 3 regions: Michigan, Alaska, and Taimyr, or Russia. And Michigan has 4 separate maps that are connected via tunnels. So you can drive from, say, Black River over to Smithville Dam. You just transport through a tunnel. And then Smithville Dam is connected to these other 2, and then those 2 are connected as well. And then there's various missions to do things. We're going to do one of those here in today's video. Alaska has 4 maps, kind of the same thing. They're connected via tunnels, and then Taimyr has 3 that are connected. So we're here in Black River, which is the first map you start out on. Zoom out a bit here. And here's the first garage you unlock once you do the tutorial. And I'm actually back in the Fleet Star. I've been using the Pay Star quite a bit, but today we're using the Fleet Star, which is the truck you find outside your garage right after the tutorial. It's a great starter truck. It'll do just about anything. And since I've got this map mostly done, I've got a bunch of upgrades for it. So I've got a raised suspension, short snorkel on it, and upgraded engine, and some better tires. But what we're doing today, we're doing Pipe Dream, which is a contract. So there's a lot of tasks, but I've cleared all those out. They were all over the map, doing various things, hauling things here and there, finding things, dragging trucks out of the swamp. There's just a lot of different things to do. And my voice is a little rough because of allergies. Apologize for that. But we're working on the Dyson diesel contract right now. I've done, I don't remember how many tasks, 2 or 3 already, little tasks for that. But we're doing Pipe Dream today. A local oil equipment factory got hammered by the flood. Oh, the backstory here, at least for the Michigan map, is there was a big flood. Everything's flooded out. People are trying to rebuild and pump the water out and rebuild bridges and whatnot, and we're helping with that. The place, that place is vital to drilling operations in the area, so we need to get it back up and running ASAP. Start by getting them some fuel and construction materials. So there's a heavy-duty tanker semi-trailer, which I've already taken up to the factory. Drug that from, it was here. And when I was unlocking the map, I didn't know what it was for. I actually took it over to my garage, and it sat there for about 20 hours of gameplay. Then I finally got to this task on this contract here. I'm like, oh, it goes up there. So I took it from my garage over across the road and around and all the way up to the factory. Now, to get that done, like I said, I've done a lot of tasks over the map, including opening up this bridge here. So this bridge is not there. You have to bring materials and build the bridge, and then that opens up the road. There's also rock slide, I think, here, and maybe even some down power lines. I forget exactly what all I've done on this map. It's quite a bit. But what we're doing right now is we're headed over to get some metal planks over here in town at the town storage. And I'm just going to grab this trailer that happens to be sitting there. I'm not sure what it's for. It's got some materials in it that we might need to use later, but what I'm going to do is take those out, and we're going to pick up the metal planks, and then we need to come back over to this side of the map, to the warehouse, and pick up some 2 bricks. And then we'll take that up to the factory, and that will close out Pipe Dream. So, let's hop in the truck and get started. It's actually nighttime. I'm going to switch to... My guy's asleep. Nice. He's like, I give up on this guy. He talks too much. We're going to skip time to the next morning here. It'll be 6 o'clock in the morning. Wake up, dude. It's time to go. Nice. So this is the International Fleet Star. Oh, the other upgrade I've got for it is all-wheel drive. I believe it's only... 4-wheel drive, basically, when you get it, the front wheels aren't engaged. But I've got a lot of upgrades on it. It's a real good truck. We've got the loading crane. You don't need the crane, but it's kind of fun to use the crane to load the truck. You can just auto-load right onto the flatbed. But we're going to head on over to town. Let's get our lights on. So not only is there more to do, the trucks are highly customizable, both in useful functions like all-wheel drive, upgraded engine, stuff like that, raised suspension. You can also customize the appearance quite a bit, which doesn't affect the functionality, it just lets you kind of tweak it. So I'm doing Fedora Freight Orange. My whole fleet is this color. And it goes back to a Farm Sims series I did a long time ago in Farm Sim 17. I had all my trucks and stuff painted orange and had my Kerbo hat on the side. So we're going with Fedora Freight Orange. Our motto, we'll get it there eventually. This part of the road here isn't too bad. There's little sections like this that are kind of muddy. So if you're not familiar with this series of games, let's just stop here in the mud. I don't have all-wheel drive or Diff Lock on, but there's basically deformable mud terrain that simulates the mud physics, water. You can see the fuel sloshing around in the tank if we zoom in there. So it kind of simulates a lot of the physics going on. And right now we're just cruising on down the road in automatic. You can switch to low gear. And then when you're in low gear, you can engage the Diff Lock if needed. But we're not going to need too much of that until we probably get over towards the warehouse where it gets a little messy. We're taking the main road over to town here. It's not too big of a deal. Once you get some bridges built and stuff like that, the highway's cleared, you can get around the map a little easier. This is the bridge you build in the tutorial when you start the game. That gets you over to the garage. Also weather effects. You can see it's a little foggy here this morning. There's rain and there's snow. Speaking of snow, you might be asking, hey, Kerbo, this is called SnowRunner. Where's the snow? Well, there's a lot of snow in Alaska, and I think also in Russia, although I've not been to the Russia map yet. Michigan is pretty much all about mud. But there's plenty of snow over in Alaska, and it's a lot tougher. You have to kind of get some stuff unlocked, really, before you can tackle Alaska. So they've got the road blocked off here, and they've got a detour. I typically just blow right through these barriers, but I'll go around. It's no problem getting through the water over here. So we'll just go through the water. Do have a snorkel on the side there, so we can go through some pretty deep stuff without affecting anything. And I haven't used that much fuel, but I'm going to pull into the gas station here. And we'll fill up. I think usually at least one of these on the map. Although I've heard some of the maps don't have a gas station, so you have to bring your own fuel. Fuel and repairs is free. It doesn't cost you anything, which is kind of a bummer. I wish there was a little more of a hardcore mode to the game. But it's still a ton of fun. The world is also empty. There's no other vehicles or anything driving around. You can play up to 4-player co-op, which is nice, but I've only played single player. From what I've seen, the co-op's a little buggy. They're working on getting some fixes in. I haven't really had too many problems with single player. So I know that if I turn here, we can get to this town storage. Right here next to the pizza place. So we just need to drive to the yellow. I'm going to tell it what I need to get, which is steel planks. Metal planks. And you can auto load. It'll put it right on the bed for you. I'm going to go to manual load just so I can use the crane. We'll close that. And then we have the metal to pick up. This metal is pretty heavy. I'm going to get back there kind of as close to it as I can. Then we'll pick it up with the crane. Uh-oh. Now the crane auto deploys, and I kind of forgot about that. We're going to put out our anchors. And we're going to pick up these metal planks here. They're quite heavy, but with the anchors out, we should be all right. We'll just stick that right up on the bed of the truck. It just gives you a little extra fun to have. You can load it with the crane. And down. There we go. And we'll unhook. And then we go out of crane mode and then store the crane, which will raise the anchors, put the crane back up, and then we pack cargo that straps it to the truck so it won't fall off. And we're good to go. I'm going to go over here and get this trailer. I think maybe I brought this trailer over here. No, this is the one that was already set in there. Now it already has one set of bricks on it, so I think we'll just need to pick up one other set over at the warehouse. And that's probably not going to work. Let's get a different track here. I like the way this truck sounds. It's got a nice deep rumble to it. Squeak under that sign. Now, one problem with having the loading crane on here is it just scoots the bed back. So the bed gets pretty close to the trailer. Might even run into it. Does that have service spare parts on it? I think it does. So when we get over to... We'll actually go back by my garage. I'll probably just drop that off at the garage in case we need it in the future. And then we'll go get another brick at the warehouse. Alright, now it's starting to rain, which is perfect. I was just talking about the weather. Don't think it has any effect on the roads, but it's a nice atmospheric touch. There we go. So I'm going to head on over towards the warehouse. I'm going to put a cut in here just to make the video a little shorter, and I'll bring you back in once we're into some rougher terrain and off of the main highway. So see you in a bit. In the garage here, I've dropped off the service spare parts that we don't need. And I forgot to pack the cargo on the trailer, actually. Let's go do that. Unpack, pack. There we go. So those bricks bouncing around in there, that's not good. So we're headed over to the warehouse to get another set of bricks. We're getting into some pretty steep territory. We could show off some of the good physics here. So get into some deeper mud. I'll have to engage the all-wheel drive. It gets really wet right up here. Nice little thunderstorm going on. So I don't really want to go through that. I've been going around. I'll go ahead and engage the all-wheel drive. Because it gets some really deep mud right there. So what I've been doing is going up through here. Even through here, it's pretty boggy, and see we're pretty much getting stuck. So we're going to put it in low. We're going to engage the Diff Lock, and are we going to be able to crawl out of here? Unfortunately, the wheels I have are not great in mud. They're good for off-road, and they're decent on the highway. But I don't have the more aggressive off-road tires unlocked yet. There is an XP system, player rank. So if we look over here, I'm rank 7. I've got few more XP to go to get to the next rank. And you can see all your stats here. We've explored 39% of Michigan. So that's a little over, you know, a fourth. So we've explored 1.5 maps or so. And I forgot to turn my phone off. Apologize. So since we're kind of stuck here, we could show off the winching system. Also something I forgot to show. Let me switch views here. We have full interiors now. If you played Spin Tires and Mud Runner, they had very simplistic interiors. We've got full interior now, working gauges. See the tachometer there and the speedometer, fuel gauge. Those all work. And we also have working mirrors, which is nice. Even the fisheye mirror works. So we're pretty much stuck right here. We could kind of crawl out, but let's go ahead and use the winch. I'm gonna find something I can tie onto. That's probably a log. Not everything you can hook up to is gonna hold you. Yeah, that's a log, so it'll give us a little boost. You can hook up to smaller trees and bushes, and it'll just rip them right out of the ground. So you gotta kind of watch that. And we'll just release that, and we'll just continue crawling on through here. So this is what SnowRunner's all about, even though we're in the mud. It's all about the planning your route, you know, and the off-road trucking. It's a lot of fun. You can see I've got little waypoint markers set up. I had planned on going up through there because that's where I've been going with my bigger truck. We're going to try it. I'm not sure this is a smart move, given the size of the load we have on the back of this truck. We're going to give it the old college try. Little honk for confidence. This is the starter truck you get when you get your first garage. But it's pretty capable. Especially now that we've got the all-wheel drive on it, raised suspension, upgraded engine. I don't think we could do this in its stock configuration. Looks like we're going to be alright though. It's a little slow, but going to get over those boulders that are sitting in the middle of the road. I think we're going to be okay. Put it low and... Oh, we got hung up on a rock there. Might have to change our track a little bit, and the dolly trailer's not doing me any favors. Gotta try to get the back end around that rock. There we go. So this is what it's all about right here. Crawling through the mud, and let me just show you. Before we get started up the next part of the hill, let me just show you here. So I was here at the garage. I dropped off those service spare parts, and we came up through here. And we could go around this way, and it's a lot flatter. It gets really swampy right through there, but it's, you know, it's a lot longer way. So I decided to try to take this shortcut. And I think we'll save some time. But that's part of the game, is planning your route. You know, what are the capabilities of your truck? What's the terrain like? And sometimes you don't know what the terrain is like until you get there. Because you can look at this right here, and you're like, oh, that's no problem. This is almost all underwater. It's a little deceiving on the map. This is a big swamp, and it is nearly impassable. So just because it looks good on the map doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to get through there. But I think we're going to be all right. I'm going to go ahead and crawl up the hill here. And I'll meet you when we're over at the warehouse getting our bricks. Made it over to the warehouse. And I'm going to just auto-load bricks. So we can just Put them right on there so we can select different things here at the warehouse, and different warehouses on the different maps have different things. So sometimes you might have to go to a warehouse on another map to get something you need for the map you're on. And then we're going to put that on the trailer, and we're going to hit auto load. So that's another way of doing it versus the crane. So I'm going to unpack and pack the cargo. Then everything's strapped down to the truck and the trailer, and off we go. We're down to nearly half a tank of fuel, which is not great, but I think I still have some fuel staged up here in the north part of the map in the trailer. But one thing I wanted to point out as we drive by here, there's a crate down there. That's another task. I need to take that crate to the warehouse, so I'm going to do that on the way back. Multitasking is a good way to get extra XP. Just kind of plan out your route, what you can do where, do multiple things at once. If we bring this up, we have to get from here up to the factory. So I think the best way to do that is going to be, we're going to plan out a route here with the waypoints. We're going to cut through the mountains here, and we're going to get back on this main road that I've cleared. Come on, waypoint. Why aren't you working? Might have been too close to the side there. Then we're just going to come on around the main road. Back over to the factory. That is the plan. So I'll probably edit some of that out. I know this video is running a little bit long. But we're headed out in four-wheel drive. Just the back wheels of the truck are driving. So far we're doing okay. I got a little bit of wheel slip going on. But you use more fuel if in all-wheel drive. So you got to kind of just keep an eye on things and plan accordingly. But we're going to get bogged down, so I'm going to go to low. You can see, without Diff Lock, we're just spinning that free wheel that's down in the mud. We're not going anywhere. So I'm going to turn on all-wheel drive. Even with all-wheel drive, this is a good example of the physics. So we got two wheels spinning. And we're just digging a hole in the ground. So we're going to engage the Diff Lock. If you're not familiar with all these terms, differential lock, you can see back in there, there's a differential where the drive shaft splits off into each side, left and right. And normally it will spin whatever wheel has the least amount of resistance. If you lock the differential, there's no slip, so it'll just drive each wheel left and right equally on each side of the differential. So now when we go forward, it's going to spin all the wheels. So the wheel that actually has some traction can move the truck forward. But the whole reason there's not a solid axle back there is when you turn any kind of radius, the outside wheel is going to want to spin faster than the inside wheel because it needs to travel further. And that can cause, forces, tire wear, that kind of thing. So normally you have a differential so each wheel can spin as it needs to. But when you're going through mud, that's not always ideal. Turn that back off. See if we can get up through here. This is a little bit rough, it's a little bit muddy, but it's going to be way easier than going up through the swamp. The swamp is nasty. Don't want to go through the swamp unless you got a great big truck. Kind of show off some of the action here and stay on the road. So we're just doing a lot of crawling and low up through here. It's pretty steep. Ground's fairly soft. Oh, I totally hit that big boulder. Now in the other games, spin tires especially, the only crane attachment you had was a log grab where you'd actually had a clamp and you would grab the logs and pick them up. So I would use that log grab to move the rocks. You could clear the road. I haven't found a way to do that in SnowRunner. I don't know if that's a thing. Alright, I think we can come out of low. Probably come out of all-wheel drive. We're almost over here back to the main road. A little stream we got to cross here. I know this isn't too bad, but it simulates water physics. So if you're going across a fast-moving stream, it will move your truck if it's deep enough and fast enough. So you got to watch out for that too. So you can see factory to the right. That's where the main road eventually goes. Didn't quite get turned sharp enough. Headlights are a little weak in the game, but you can upgrade usually with roof-mounted fog lights that really help a lot. But I don't remember if this truck supports that, and some of those I don't have unlocked yet. So it's all about player progression as well. The more XP you get, the more things you can unlock and purchase for your truck. Whoa! Alright, a lot of this now is just main road driving, so I'm going to ride over to the factory, and I'll meet you over there. Here we are at the factory. So we'll unload this, and we'll get some XP and some money. There's the big, giant fuel trailer that I had to bring up for the first part of Pipe Dream. Brought that over with my Paystar, which is a bigger truck. But if we go here to cargo management, you can see unloading cargo. We've got the bricks it needs, so unload those. And then we got the metal planks here on the truck that it needs. There we go, contract completed. Now the factory is online and we can focus on getting local drilling operations up and running again. I'm sure we could use your help with that too, so keep your ears open. So yeah, we'll have more stuff to do, but we've got 450 experience and 3850 on the monies. Beautiful. And you can see lost container. That's actually the mission down there, or the task down there by the warehouse I was talking about with that crate we need to get. So I'm going to head over and refuel. I've got a scout trailer over here with some fuel in it. And I'm going to continue on my journey, but that'll be it for this video. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit of SnowRunner. Let me know what you think in the comments. I might throw some more videos up at some point. Not planning on a series, but if there's something you want to see, let me know. Thanks for watching, and take care. Bonk.